Hi, I'm Bill Wetzel, host of the SurfRatsBall.com, and this is my partner in crime, Rosie Wetzel, and she hosts RatKids.com on the SurfRatsBall.com. Today what we're going to talk about is spooling up a reel. Now this is going to be good for any reel, and what I find with people, especially my customers coming in, even they'll come in, oh yeah, I got my reel freshly spooled from a bait and tackle shop. Come to find out that I guess the bait and tackle shop didn't know how to spool the reel, because what you do is you test the reel, you test the line by just sticking your fingers inside the line, and if it's loosey-goosey in there, that's no good. The bait and tackle shop didn't do it right, and they didn't spool it tight enough. So I'm going to go over a bunch of stuff on how to spool it today, how to put backing. This is Rosie's first Von style. It's a VS 150. It's awesome, is it not? It is cool, and she can't wait to get out there and use it. We might even do a little freshwater with it for the first time. So let's get to it. Alright, so first thing you're going to need, really just a few things. You know, when I'm spooling my reel up with line, usually I'm in the field. I'm at my house, I'm in my driveway. You know, it's really, I usually do it in the field. But all you need is a couple old spools. And I use 30-pound test for the backing, usually 30-pound test straight mono. This is Berkeley Trilene. It helps if you have a drill. It makes it a little bit faster, and I'll show you that. And what I'm going to be using today is 30-pound test Power Pro. Straight Power Pro. Do not buy the slick. If you come with me on a guided trip, I will not let you use Power Pro slick. It's just, for the surf, it's garbage in my opinion. So what I use is Power Pro Green. Great line. I've never had issues with it. So if you read the back of the box, it's 12-pound diameter of mono. It's 30-pound test line, but it's 12-pound diameter of mono. So on the Von Style box, it says 360 yards of 12-pound test. Well, what they mean is 360 yards of 12-pound test mono. So not braid. So this should, if it was completely mono, it'd be 360 yards. So I have 300 yards today. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't have any VS 150. We're going to see how much backing that we're going to have to put on here, and I'll show you how to do that. It's very easy. It's kind of a pain, but it's very easy. Fine. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Alright, first thing you have to do is just take your main line, which is the 30-pound test Power Pro, and you know, this is not a big deal what you need to do. So all I do is tie just a couple overhand knots. That's all you need to do. Nothing fancy, just so it's going to stay in there. And that's it. That's it. Pull it a little bit. Get the tag end off a little bit. Okay. And that's it. So what you might find when you first start reeling the reel is that the line will start rotating, and it won't stick to the spool. Just put a little piece of tape on it. It's a little trick. Put a little piece of tape on it. It doesn't matter right now because we're just seeing how much right now. We're just trying to find out how much backing we're going to put on the reel. So now there's two ways you can do this. You can have somebody hold it and put a little pencil through here, or if you're in the field, you can put it in a bucket or really anything. I'll put it right in my box here. Boom, it's in there. Right now, here's another trick. You're going to need something to hold the line because this will burn your fingers. So I use just an old sock. Right, wrong hand. So I just put an old sock on. Now the trick here is to get this nice and tight. So I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to wrap it around my index finger one time, and then I'm going to hold it tight. Right? And it's got to be tight. I wrap it around my index finger to give it extra tension, because it's got to be tight. And you can see it's just reeling. The spool's staying in the thing, in the drawer, and it's just reeling. Ooh, that Von style is a nice reel. Tighten up the drag a little bit. I hear it. What do you think, Rose? This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
We going fishing today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll go freshwater. She's a surf rat. She says, Dad, I don't like the freshwater. So you keep spooling this up and tightening it, and make sure it's nice and tight as you can get it, until the spool is done. I'm continuing the reel here, but I want to let you know that what I do is I buy. I don't like to buy the huge spools of Power Pro. I like to buy 300 yard spools, and the reason for that is I know how much line I have on my spool at all times. You know, so I start out with 300 and I cut back every time after I use it, probably like 3 feet or so every time after I use it. And eventually the line does go down, but I know I start with 300. I would recommend at minimum, if you're a surf caster, I'm not talking about back bay stuff, but you know, the heavier reels especially, 200 yards, because sometimes you're casting 125 yards, you know, and then you got 75 yards and that's it. So if you get a big fish on, you know, you might have some problems, or if you're cutting back constantly, you need that extra cushion. So I just buy the 300 yard spools. They work out great. Alright, the Power Pro is all spooled on. And you can see there's a lip there. Maybe not even I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an inch or a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch. Now normally on most reels you say, oh yeah, it's 1/8 of an inch, anything you read. But I like, you know, on the VS's, I'll spool it all the way up. I'll spool it all the way up to the rim, right there. So this is really just going to take a little bit of backing, which that's what I thought would happen. I probably wouldn't even have to do this with this reel, what I'm about to do. But for the video I'll show you. So now, this is our backing, 30-pound backing, and what I'm going to do, just tie a quick little uni-to-uni knot here. Probably won't even take the tag off. Alright, so I got the uni-to-uni. There's the mono, there's the Power Pro mainline backing. Now you're probably thinking, why is he putting the backing on last? Well, I'll show you that in a minute. So this goes here. Might need Rosie for this one. There we go. So now I'm going to spool it to the rim, and now I know how much backing exactly I need for this reel, which is not much. I'm just feeling the lip. See where I got it, because I can barely see it. So this reel's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait for her to use this reel. And that's it. You know, it's filled right to the rim. Alright, so now I'm gonna take the backing. You know what the best thing to do is? Take a little piece of duct tape. It's the easiest way, except tying knots and everything. So just take the backing, a little piece of tape, boom. I'm going to do the backing by hand, and I use a drill for the main line. So I just put the backing on the other spool. And this is going to go back on the reel after I take all the backing off. So now I got the spool on the drill. And I don't know if you can see that, but I just put a little piece of stick in there to hold it on the drill. I mean, you can make something custom made, but you know, little piece of stick. You're out in the field. Usually I carry a drill with him in my truck just for this purpose, and it's just any stick, and it's easy. So now I'm going to take this is the main line. This is the Power Pro. So I'm just going to take the Power Pro, put a little tape on it. That's ready to go. You know, start it a little bit. Rose, you want to hold that? Just hold it. So now when you do this, you can go pretty fast, but make sure you just go back and forth. I mean, you can do it by hand too. This is just easier. Just go back and forth. Make sure it's nice and even, that's all. This doesn't have to be tight or anything like that. So I'm going back and forth, just trying to make it even. I know this seems like a pain in the ass, but once you do it once, it's going to be good for years, because the backing will really last you for a long time. You know, oh, got a little tangle up here. Once the backing's on, it'll last you for a long time, and then to take the backing off. If you ever do have to take the backing off, you just put a marker, put a little magic marker where the backing ends, and you'll know when you put the backing back on how much you put on. Alright, now here's my backing that I put on my spool before. Easy peasy. Now what I'm going to do, believe it or not, the knot I use, there's probably other better knots than this, but I've been doing this since I've been 7. So this is the knot I've always used. Just an improved clinch knot. That's it. Goes around, comes in. Wet it. That's it. Bang. Works good, baby. And definitely with this, you want to cut off the tag. So now this is gonna be the final spool. So I don't know if this manly's gonna fit in here. Oops. So we just cut off the tag. Okay, tag is cut. I'm going to put this back in here like this. Or I could have Rosie hold it. With the mono, you know, I'm going to use this so I can get a little tighter. Nice and tight. I don't need this with the mono, it's not as bad, but remember, the backing's not that much, right? Not much on the backing. It should be almost coming up to the end. Ooh, there's the end. That's the end of the backing. So now, I'm going to take my backing. This is my main line. Remember the 30-pound test mono backing to the main line, 30-pound test Power Pro. You know, you can use bigger backing if you want. You can use 50-pound test if you want. Whatever you think you need. I like the 30-pound test. Now, I'm just gonna go a uni to uni to tie the two lines together. Alright, so I'm putting on my old trusty sock. I got the mono, the backing, tied to the braid now via uni to uni knot, which I never had a problem with. So once again, I'm going to snake this around my finger and provide as much tension as I possibly can. This is going to go in here. Right? This, like I said, you can put that in a bucket. You could have somebody hold it, whatever you want to do. I just put it in there, it works good. And now I'm going to apply tension to it. And now I'm putting the braid back over the mono, because now I know how much mono to put on for backing, right? You know, and another thing is, this will burn your fingers, man. Even through the sock, it's going to burn your fingers. So you got to keep moving it around. All right, check it out. So there it is. The backing's on the spool. You can't even see the backing. And now it's completely spooled with a 30-pound test. Beautiful. Now, what we do is the fingernail test. If you can dig your fingernails in there and it's loosey-goosey, that's no good. So if you're at a bait and tackle shop and you see that, you got to have the dude re-spool it. Because to be honest, a lot of bait and tackle shops, and it's, you know, I've been guiding for 22 years now, or 23, whatever it is. A lot of bait and tackle shops, honestly, they just don't spool their the line on correctly. I don't know why, but they can't seem to get it correct. If this is loosey-goosey, what'll happen is when the drag goes out, it will dig in. You don't want that, because it'll just dig in and your line will break. So, you ready to go test this out, Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's give a couple shadow casts, and then maybe we'll go fishing a little bit later, okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Whoa! What kind of rod you got there, Rose?
A Lammer Glass Carbon Surf.
Lemon Glass Carbon Surf. You love that rod?
Yeah.
Give me another shadow cast. See what you got. Whew. And there you have it. Hey, one more thing. Don't you dare forget to join surfratsball.com. If you're not a member, what the hell are you waiting for? I'll see you there.